It's pretty late right now, and the old mayor for sure would not be up at this time recording a video. The old mayor would be saying, like, oh, it's late, I have to get to bed if I want to get up early, and blah, 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 right? And I wanted to kind of talk about this point because, how, I wasn't born into an elite family. I was born in a third world country in Iran, which I think there's war going on right now, and um, like a middle lower class in a third world country, right? So I don't even know how you would consider that in terms of if you want to compare it to America or Canada, Europe, or something. But I grew up there, and it's really interesting how the society shapes the minds of everyone through advertisement, movies, things like that. And you end up believing that, oh, you have to go to bed early to wake up early. And it's like, I was even just looking at the word early and just looked up the definition. And one of the definition, it just says in good time. So, because if, let's say, if you consider 10 a.m. early, to someone that could be late. I was talking to someone earlier today. He goes to bed at 9 and gets up at 5, right? So to him, 10 will be late. And then to another person that goes to bed at, let's say, midnight, that 10 a.m. is going to be super early. And so, and the same thing on the other side. Like if you wake up at 6 and you think that's early, 4 a.m., someone who wakes up at 4 a.m., to them 6 a.m. is like pretty late. So what I'm trying to say is, instead of worrying too much about what the society has told you and taught you to believe, you have to really create your own beliefs to best serve you, because that's how you really make this life to become easy and fun. For example, something I'm doing now, and chatting with my mentor, and he was supporting me with this point, and he's like holding me accountable, is to wake up at 6 a.m. every single day. And for a long time, I always had like so much programming around waking up early because of this, when I used to go to school, and there's just a lot of emotions. I could never get up at that time. And, as a kid, you need more hours of sleep, but they get you at age 4 or 5 or so to wake up at 6, 7 in the morning, where you should be getting more sleep at that time. So then now you're sleep deprived, and then there's like some dysfunction in the development of the child, just because they want to condition you for 18 years so that you could then get up at the same time to go to a job to make someone else rich. That's all it is. Like, school is just conditioning you to work a job. And now many people know that. But so long story short, there was a lot of emotional stuff I had around that point. But, through this point of getting up at 6, I realized that I never saw myself as, let's say, an early morning person, right? Because you have that thing of like, some people are like night owls and some people are early birds, or whatever they call them. And I realized, but that thought doesn't serve me. And they would say, if you're a night owl, you'll have a hard time getting up in the morning, and blah, blah, all this bullshit. But now it's like I'm on both sides. It's like I keep working until I'm done, right? Sometimes it's 11, sometimes it's midnight, sometimes it could be 1 in the morning, right? Or even past 1, depends on what I have going on that day. And then on the other side, I'm like getting used to just getting up at 6 a.m. and then going for a walk, regardless of the weather outside. And I'm conditioning myself to, instead of telling myself that I'm not a morning person and that I can never get up at that time, or blah, 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 I'm just changing the narrative, and I'm telling myself I am the type of person that gets up at that time. I am the morning person and all of that. And I realize that serves me a lot better and a lot more than those other beliefs. And you'd be surprised how easily, and I don't even know the scientific stuff on this, it's just a lot of anecdotal evidence of a lot of people that I know who, just through changing their beliefs, like they start getting results that it's like probably science cannot even prove. But just look at it for yourself of what is the beliefs that you're holding on to, right? Because right now, I rather make this video to support a lot more people, and that'll be more beneficial belief to have than to like, oh, I need to go to sleep, because it doesn't matter when I go to sleep, I'll get up anyway, you know. Because like you've probably experienced this too. It's like you go to bed at 10, whatever early is to you, and then still you wake up in the morning and you still feel groggy, tired, and all that. So that itself should be proof that you don't need all that sleep. If you get all that sleep, you're still not quote unquote rested, right? And I found that the proper amount of sleep you actually need is just 4 to 6 hours. That's how much sleep your body needs. After that, you're just recharging your mind to just keep messing with you the next day. That's like a whole nother topic. But so look at it. What have you been telling yourself? What are the narratives you've been telling yourself? Are you telling yourself that it's hard to build your business and to make sales and to, you know, build a secure life for your family or your future family? Are you telling yourself that, you know, you're just the type of person that always just gets by and lives paycheck to paycheck and you can't afford things? Like, what are these stories that you're telling yourself? And if it's not benefiting you, just tell the opposite story. And don't worry if it's gonna like, for me, I started telling myself that I'm a successful person and that I'm a well communicator and all that stuff when I like barely could even speak English. But I was like, okay, at that time, the fact was I did not speak English as well, and I was dyslexic, or what you know, the system would consider dyslexic, ADHD, all that stuff. My dad was diagnosed with ADHD and all that, and that was just a fact back then. But I was like, okay, I could either just believe that, or I could just lie to myself that I am a well communicator, I know English and all of that. And to me, it was like, I don't even care if it happens or no. I just rather think those thoughts than to just accept the fact that I don't speak it. And just through thinking those positive thoughts, it's like opportunities did come through where then I ended up improving my language and improving my communication skills. And now many people tell me that that's my big strength. Right now I've spoken on stages. Now people tell me how well I articulate things. And like, I was not like that. You could just go watch literally the oldest video I posted on my channel and how I had trouble with just basic grammar, you know? So yeah, definitely look at this point. And once you start changing your beliefs to best suit you, life will become more easy and fun. Like, that's guaranteed. So just look at that and change.